We are talking specifically about white men. And I'm just going to say it. I'm unapologetically going to say it. White men are the most dangerous species in the entire world to women and to everyone else. So we can reframe, right? Men want to be like, not all men. It's always a white man that says that, by the way. Not all men are like that. Okay, so let's reframe the question. Would you rather be trapped in the woods with a white man or a black man? A white man or an Arab man? A white man or an Asian man? A white man or an Italian man? This one might be tough. A white man or a Frenchman? White men are the problem. You are who we are all afraid of. And if you all do not start changing your, we're gonna come eat you.
Weird.
Well, well, well. If it isn't the cackling hens again having a meltdown on The View, what else is new? Okay, Whoopi Goldberg is angry. Okay, you saw the intro about the sentiment that this lady has. Like, imagine the self-hate. You know, the irony is a lot of people see black folks that are either independent or conservative voters, and then they immediately start talking about how they're self-hating. But I feel like there's no group that actually really truly self-hates themselves as much as the white person in America, especially the bleeding heart white women, okay? And even though some people like Donald Trump recognize this and call it out, you got people like Whoopi Goldberg having a full-blown meltdown because Donald Trump is pointing out that there is an anti-white sentiment in America, which is absolutely true. I mean, pretty much every initiative is, what do you see? Constant race swaps, you see gender swaps, right? You see it all the time. You see it in all different forms of entertainment, especially in movies and TV shows, right? They try to just say, you know, we're just going to put like a black person in it. You know, we're going to make them LGBTQ. So, you know, they're anti-male, they're anti-white, they're anti-straight, heterosexual, right? Everything's always got to be some sort of clown world. Now, there's nothing wrong with having other different groups represented, but when you overdo it, then it's very clear that you have a bias, and that's what Donald Trump is pointing out, in which Whoopi Goldberg is upset just because you even recognize and acknowledge this. Without further ado, I'll let you hear it from the horse's mouth.
I'm going to tell you before I say it that it enraged me.
Of course it did, Whoopi.
There is a definite anti-white feeling in the country right now.
Oh, please.
Yeah, that's what he said. You know, sir.
No, sir.
Why would you... Okay, that's all. I thought she was gonna read further. You're that upset about that comment? Because that's absolutely true in this country. Absolutely. You got all of these people. I know y'all been watching the news. You see all these crazy nutcase protesters shutting down schools and colleges, being violent, throwing fireworks at each other, hitting each other with all kinds of different stuff, right? And they just ignore all of that, all the Black Lives Matter stuff, and literally burning down police stations, destroying communities, ignore all of that violence. But then what do you always hear them talk about? J6, white supremacy. Even though J6 that wasn't a white supremacist movement, but that's what they act like it was because there was white people there, mostly, right? It wasn't all white people, but they don't care about that, right? So, of course, there's an anti-white sentiment. There's literally two different tiers. So if you go back to Jim Crow, maybe there was a different tier of justice, right? Rodney King, stuff like that. But when you go years later, decades later to 2024, things are drastically different where now everything is woke as hell and everything's about DEI.
Sir, nobody in your family was hung. Nobody in your family was chased because of the color of their skin. How dare you? There's no anti-white.
Wait a minute. Hold on a sec, Whoopi. Who in your family was hung? If I go back, I probably can't even identify who in my family was ever hung or chased or anything like that. You know, maybe I could figure something out with some ancestry, right? Maybe I can, but like Whoopi's acting like her daddy was hung. I understand the history, guys. I know a lot of black history, okay? But Whoopi Goldberg is acting like, do you even know what Donald Trump's history even is? We don't know what his people was dealing with before they came to America. I mean, technically, if you go back in time, everybody has some sort of persecution in their ancestry. Or certainly most groups did. Arguably all of them, but most groups, I would say, did.
Issue here, you are perpetrating anti-humanist issues here. So the question is he the future? Is he the future? Well, I gotta ask.
Yeah.
You know, that's the gig, they pay me.
I mean, I'll tell you. The answer is yes, because, I mean, what else would you want? Okay, viewers, who would you want? Y'all let me know in the comments. Who would you want to represent the future? Donald Trump or Whoopi Goldberg? I mean, that's a scary thought. You think somebody with the temperament and the logic that Whoopi Goldberg has is a good representative of the country? Miss Perpetual Victimhood, big name actress, over here acting like she's got to worry about being lynched in the streets. Like my neck. Like, Whoopi, you ain't been through none of the stuff you even talking about. What the hell are you talking about? She's been a successful actress. Her whole life, you literally on The View every day, making a ton of money with a bunch of bimbos. And you over here acting like, well, you wasn't you wasn't hung on the street. Neither were you. What the hell are you talking about? I get so sick of this lady.
So I read this big time interview this morning, and it's Trump in his own words saying these scary things. But I wasn't as taken aback as I should be, because for the last 4 years, myself, others who spoke out against him have been saying literally line by line what he's saying in his own words in this piece. And it is devastating to me that that is not resonating with Republicans, a party I've been a member of my whole life, that they're just not believing it. The other day, Bill...
Have you guys looked at Agenda 47? Okay, DonaldJTrump.com / I think it's like /Agenda 47. This is about his presidency. He discloses everything about his presidency and why he would be a better president. First off, the best person for the job. Secondly, better than crooked Joe Biden and better than a Democrat regime. That's why people support him, because we don't have Trump derangement. She doesn't understand because you don't want to understand. I think this lady's fake as hell anyway. She probably supports Trump anyway. She just going along with these chicks on The View because she don't want to have a shouting match every freaking episode and get ganged up on and look stupid like Jessica Tarlov on The Five or whatever. And maybe she ain't smart enough to outsmart all of these cackling hens, which she should be able to do, but it's very sad if she doesn't. But yo, like, Donald Trump has the policies people support. I don't know how many times people got to tell you that. I done did all these videos about this. People in the streets know the answers to the same stuff that I know. The answers are clear. We don't have Trump derangement.
Bill Barr, the former attorney general, was asked about something I had stated where Trump said that somebody should be executed because they leaked a bad story about him. And he basically was like, I don't recall that. But on other occasions, he said stuff like that. But we shouldn't take him literally. No, the things he says we should take literally. And I've said this 1,000 times. There won't be guardrails next time. There won't be Mark Esper. There won't be John Kelly. There won't be Jim Mattis.
That article.
He says he's going to only hire loyalists and people who say that the last election is stolen. So he's admitting he's going to staff a White House and the entire federal government with either liars or lunatics. It is very scary.
Yeah, you see how nutty these people are. They're basically saying that Donald Trump should hire people who don't pledge loyalty to him, who might stab him in the back, right? Like some of the people did before. Look at Michael Cohen. Look at Mike Pence. Like, you want people like that to support you? Lindsey Graham, who goes whichever way the wind blows. These are the people who you want in your cabinet? Of course not. You want people who are loyal to you. It's like, imagine trying to demonize, like, hey, I want people who I know are not going to actively go against me and call me a liar and so on and so forth. And they're like, see, this guy's going to be totally corrupt. It's like, what the hell? I can't do this, bro. How much longer this video? Look, I don't know how. We gonna see how far I can get.
I just want to underscore, because I want Trump to lose. He and Joe Biden are neck and neck. It is very real that in 7 months we will wake up to President-elect Donald Trump, and that should be scary for every American.
It is scary.
You want Trump to lose over Joe Biden? Did you not see all of these protests going on where they literally shutting down schools because of wokeness, because of just ridiculous, entitled brats.
You guys have closed the entrance. We are UCLA students. I have my ID right here. I'm being blocked off, not by the security guard, but by you two. You three. Oh, look, they're making their burger while I'm going this way. Excuse me. This is what they do. Everybody, look at this. Look at this. I'm a UCLA student. I deserve to go here. We pay tuition. This is our school. And they're not letting me walk in. My class is over there. I want to use that entrance. Why can't they go? Will you let me go in? This could be over in a second. Just let me and my friends go in to class.
We're not engaging in that.
Then you can move. Will you move?
We're not engaging in that.
Okay, we're going. We're going. I'm going in. I have my hands up. I'm not hurting them.
No foundation, no family values, no religious values here in the States. These are things we need in America. Otherwise, that's what you get, is a bunch of lunatics tearing the place down, fighting for a cause that's somebody else's cause, not causes here at home. And you acting like Donald Trump's gonna be the worst thing ever. You got all of these wars going on. Shaky as crap economy, and they still having Trump derangement. It is insane. It's bonkers.
It's very scary stuff. And also, you know, when a child sets a house on fire, you don't give them another book of matches.
Right.
He already was terrible as a president. Thousands and thousands of people died in COVID under his watch. And, you know, and a lot of these kids who are protesting, I think that they don't
Now you're blaming COVID on the president? Like, bro. People literally died across the world, and a lot of these people were destined they were pretty much doomed, right? Because there's got to be herd immunity. Inevitably, the whole thing behind COVID was to try to slow a process so you could get a vaccine out. Donald Trump did Operation Warp Speed. He did that. Nobody else did. So how is this the president's fault? Like, bro.
Because they're saying that kids under 26-year-olds and under are not feeling President Biden, you know? And this type of protest that we talked about it yesterday, I think that will put Trump right back into the White House. So they better be careful what they want, because this is the generation that's going to lose their abortion rights and their voting rights. They're the ones to be worried. You don't replace dissatisfaction with a dictatorship.
How many of y'all watching this video have ever not been able to vote? Let me know in the comments if anybody has not been able to vote ever. Okay, I'm black. One of the people who they claim, you know, they're trying to just strip our voting rights away because they're racist. They want Jim Crow 2.0, according to these nutcases. And I've never had any issues voting. Nobody in my family has ever had issues voting. None of my friends have ever had issues voting. Majority of all of these people are black, especially my family. Right? And nobody I know has had any issues voting. Now, does that mean that nobody has this issue? That's not what it means. However, majority of people, including, it could be people on the internet, like all of the people, there's no instances that I have found where people are like, man, I didn't get a chance to vote. You know, who didn't show up at like the last minute after the voting time, get confused about which day you were supposed to vote, showed up at the wrong location, right? People like that didn't get a chance to vote. But nobody who did what they were supposed to do, like these people literally say anything. You had a Donald Trump presidency before. It went fine. You can't try to pin the deaths of people on Donald Trump and then it basically exonerate Andrew Cuomo, who was the real crook, who literally lied about his death count up in New York.
A report carried out by New York Attorney General Letitia James in January showed that Andrew Cuomo allowed COVID-19 positive patients to leave hospital and return to nursing homes, in turn infecting other residents. He later reversed that a few months later in May of 2020. The report also showed that his government underreported the number of COVID-19 nursing home-related deaths by up to 50%, did not provide proper PPE or adequate testing for around 62 homes. By late January of this year, the official death count of COVID-19 related deaths in nursing homes was around 8,000, but the report showed that that was wrong and it was actually double. After the report was released, Andrew Cuomo acknowledged that the administration had underreported the numbers, but shifted the blame and said it was because he was fearful the Trump administration would use it as a political weapon against them.
Or maybe you go home and kiss your grandmother and wind up killing your grandmother.
Oh my goodness.
A comment that many people did not take too kindly, including Fox News anchor Janice Dean, whose in-laws both died of COVID-19 in a New York nursing home. She retweeted the story with, "If anyone knows how to kill a grandma, it's this guy."
Sent people to nursing homes to die. These fools don't talk about that. He actually was directly responsible for that decision that led to the deaths of thousands of people. Nobody wants to hold him accountable because he is a Democrat. You see how these people operate? This video is making me sick. I can't even get through more of it. It's got more time left, but that's about all I can do for this because I'm sick. Talking about these cackling hens, good entertainment. I mean, I guess y'all let me know if y'all think that, but these people are lunatics. They're losers and they're Trump deranged maniacs. It doesn't matter how many wars break out, how many crazy violent protests break out. Doesn't matter how many people die under Democrats' regime. The only thing they're going to talk about is freaking abortion rights and how they're Trump deranged and how white people are bad and white supremacy, like all of these ridiculous concepts. If you even bring race into the picture, you saw how Whoopi Goldberg reacted. She's like, I was just so upset. It's like, of course you were, because you have no control over your emotions. You're not using any rational thought to determine how not only you as a person should move forward, but how the country should move forward. You're a nutcase. These people definitely can't ever have me on The View because I call out every last one of them. Every single one. I wouldn't hold nothing back. I'd be like, you guys have Trump derangement, point blank period. I'd be looking just like Judge Janine. Remember, she got kicked off. I did a video about her getting kicked off of The View for saying that they got Whoopi Goldberg had Trump derangement. How the hell you gonna get mad at something that's clearly true? Every time Donald Trump says anything, here she comes, like having a freaking meltdown every time. And just because he said, hey, there's an anti-white sentiment, it's factual that there is. It may not be an anti-white sentiment perhaps on the Democrat Party side, but certainly if you say you're white and you're a conservative, then yeah, they're like, oh, you're public enemy number one. You're some sort of racist white supremacist automatically. You need to be purged from the earth. There's people who say that, you know. I can't deal with these lunatics, man. Like, these people must be defeated. Get out there, November 5th. It's time to make these cackling hens cry. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate y'all watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
Yeah, we do have a problem. White men.
The last time I checked, terrorists are white men.